perceive that you're an average person, just going through life, getting by? Well, you become sicker and sicker until the ultimate sickness, death, infects the biological robot that you call yourself. Or do you perceive that you are a symbiotic biological mass of solar-powered water, fractaling out through time, generation after generation, populating our own speck of dust, spiraling at incomprehensible speeds around the galactic center? Both are true. The question is, what story do you want to tell yourself? Your body produces a Schedule I drug. Not just you, but everyone. Even a cop busting you for pot is currently holding and producing a Schedule I drug. This does not just stop with humans, but literally the grass you mow contains DMT. This molecule is so important to the human body that it passes through the extreme security system called the blood-brain barrier. It seems to be used as an energy packet to feed the brain. Quoting from the book The Spirit Molecule, "In a way, DMT is brain food, treated in a manner similar to how the brain handles glucose, its precious fuel source. It is a part of the high turnover system, quick in, quick used. The brain actively transports DMT across this defense system and just as rapidly breaks it down. It is as if DMT is necessary for maintaining normal brain function. It is only when the levels get too high for normal function that we start undergoing unusual experiences." Not only do we find cannabinoids naturally being produced in our body, but we actively use the most potent psychedelic known to man in our daily function. How is it that our society still treats psychedelics as a demon or unimportant? Rick Strassman goes on to say, "It is almost unconceivable that a chemical as simple as DMT could provide access to such an amazingly varied array of experiences. From the least dramatic to the most unimaginably earth-shattering. From psychological insights to encounters with aliens. Abject terror to nearly unbearable bliss. Near death and rebirth. Enlightenment. All of these from a naturally occurring chemical cousin of serotonin, a widespread and essential brain neurotransmitter." Did you know that you have a continuous blind spot in your visual field, where the eye connects to the optical nerve? The you that is not you is continuously filling it in with a blurry representation of what is immediately around it. Just use this simple trick to not see it for yourself. Now that we have shown that your brain is filling in reality while flipping it before it is even brought to the conscious mind, it is curious to find out how easy it is to distort your visual field. Using this so-called digital acid, within a minute, you will experience interesting effects. Don't worry, they don't last long. Now, let's think about color. When we look at red, do our minds use the same labeling system? The facts are starting to show that they are not. This means that if you jump into someone else's head, it would be colored like an alien landscape. In Live Science, Joseph Carroll of the Medical College of Wisconsin said, "I think we can say for certain that people don't see the same colors." It is amazing how all of this is happening back in the dark recesses of your brain, where light never reaches, called the visual cortex. What we call real in our day-to-day life is closer to a personal holodeck than what is actually in front of our face. And with new technologies, we are finding these senses are easily fooled, distorted, and even artificially created.
The patient was performing while grasping an object. We use this force information to deliver very precise stimulation to the different sensory nerves in order to restore this real-time sensory feeling into the nervous system.
If you can feel round things and hard things and soft things, and the feedback was totally new to me, and suddenly when I was doing some movements I could feel actually what I was doing.
There are 3 times the amount of sentient organisms living in your body than there are human cells. They only take up a very small part of the mass, but we are starting to find out curious things about them. Like they provide us with digestible vitamins in our stomach biome that we would have a hard time acquiring anywhere else. Deeply embedded symbiotic relationships in biology are nothing new. Your cells have a symbiotic relationship to an organism that has its own genetic material called the mitochondria. This functions as the cell's energy source, creating most of the cell's currency, or ATP. While most of these little creatures are there for our beneficial or unknown effects, there are a few negative bastards out there ready to attack our miniature universe that we call our body. One of these is malaria, which is, once it's added to the environment, takes on a complete blitzkrieg, using our bloodstream as a delivery system and our liver as an incubation chamber. This dirty little bastard wants you dead.